Hello, my YouTube world. It's Johnny Mo coming to you today. Just doing a little check-in video. Have not done a video in a couple weeks here, and so I wanted to check in with you and to give you some results on my weight loss. I've lost 21 pounds. I'm now officially off the blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure was getting pretty low as I was losing weight. So what I did is I tapered myself off. I am taking some supplements, vitamins and stuff, and I'm keeping watch on the blood pressure. I'm not just getting off the medicine and then not watching it and then going, letting the blood pressure get out of control. But I'm off the medicine, so thank you for those who prayed for me. So far, I've been off about 2 weeks now, and very good. In fact, I just took it. It was 123 over 73, I think it was. That's good for me. And enjoying that, enjoying losing the 21 pounds. Also, after next week, this is our last week, and we're halfway through the first quarter. How are you guys doing? How's your numbers? I love to ask you guys how the numbers are. As you know, I like to consider this a game to me. I believe it's a 4-quarter game. April, May is first quarter, June, July, second, August, September's third, October, November's fourth. Usually wrap up around November. Any work and extra money made in December, January, February, and March, to me, is all bonus money. It's all extra money. It's all overtime money. And why I say that is because here in the Northeast and possibly the Midwest, you only get like 6-7 months to make your money. Maybe 7-8 months here in the Northeast. But if you go further north, like, up in the New York and Maine, that's probably even less than that up there. But so you only get that little bit of time. So you really got to think, what's it cost for me to make it through the winter? I like to do my bills, my budget, all the way till next June 1st. Because see, what happens is in April, you'll make money and you'll start the season off. And then how I do it, it's probably not popular today, but I do work for a month. Then I bill my April work out in May. And then I start getting paid for all the April work. And sometimes April's hit and miss. Like, usually I don't start mowing until like the 14th of April, but this year we started earlier, got some work done a little bit sooner. The fact of the matter is that sometimes April's hit and miss, so you don't make a lot of money in April. So May and June are our big months because it's like the two big pushes around here are Memorial Day and July 4th, because that's when they want all that landscaping. They want it looking good. They want their first trim. They want their mulch put down. Those are the two big dates. After that, they start to kind of like, everything falls off a little bit. It gets hot in the summer. The grasses starts slowing down a little bit because it's more 80, 90 degree days and grass starts to slow way down. Like right now, our grass is growing an inch a day. I mean, literally, it's growing 7 inches in a week, and it's getting difficult to cut. And I'm going to answer a question a person asked me about the cutting conditions and the decks and stuff. So I'm going to answer that here in a little bit in this video. But getting back, so you only have a little bit of time to make your money. So that means what I try to do is by Labor Day, which is in September, I have to have all of my money in budgeted till the following June. So basically, midway through the third quarter, I know I have the game won. See, I consider this a game. Everything, if you're going into September and you don't have your winter money, you've only got a couple months. October is a terrible month because it's a switch over to leaves. The grass isn't growing. It's cool. It's like you're not cutting every week anymore. I mean, you're trying to, but, leaves are falling. Then you're collecting leaves. You're getting behind. And, November is just about leaf cutting. You're not really making that much on grass anymore. And, you're not making as much in the leaf removal department. And, things are wrapping up. And there's not a lot of work on the books in November as opposed to, April, May, June, July around here. Those are the hit months. And then you might get a busy August, people last minute, people want to do something. They've been outside like, I want to change that. But things start to slide back. After September, it's tough to get that winter money. So you got to think winter now. We're in spring, but your mind should be thinking at the end of the game. What's my game plan to win this game? Because I got to make sure that I got budgeted all the way out till June of 2017. 2017's on my mind right now. because I know I got a budget all the way to 2017 to make sure I win this game, make sure I can stay in here. And then anything above that, once you get your bonus money in there, and then after September, it's all bonus money for you. It's, hey, what equipment do I need? What account do I need to fill up? Who can you bless even? If you're doing really good financially, like who can you bless? There's someone around you that could use a helping hand, and then boom, you can help that person instantly because you're doing good. It can't be all about making money and getting you into a bigger house and building a, bigger is not always better. And I've preached that so much on this channel, and I hope that doesn't get old, but I've been in this for 20 years. And Stanley Jenidak did a really cool interview with this couple about what they did is a guy was in landscaping business. His wife was like a fitness instructor, and they ended up getting rid of everything and going out to the wilderness and basically buying a plot of land. And now they live totally off the land. They live off the grid. And I just thought it was a great video. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but there's a little bit to that we need to get back to, because it's the hustle and bustle. You know, the Bible says in Proverbs, do not labor to get rich. It says, don't labor to be rich. And if that's your whole goal in life, you're going to be one miserable person. And, you know, I hope that's not people watching this channel. You know, I want you to do good. I want you to live a good life. But I like where the trend is going now. There was a trend here for the last 15 years. You got to live in a 3,000 square foot house. You got to drive a Mercedes-Benz. You got to keep up with the Joneses. Now I see the trend going to real small houses, small, you know, even 1 or 2 bedroom houses, and everything's downsizing. It's pretty unique to see how the trends have turned around. And even around here, you know, we used to have this one area is really affluent. It's just been vacated because of the economy around here. You go through it, it's like signs up forever. They can't even sell the houses. But I treat this like a game. I treat it like a game. Right now, I'm thinking of the fourth quarter. I got to have it budgeted out till next year. So by September, Labor Day, I want to know that this game is in the bag. You know what I mean? I don't want to be sitting there in September and worrying about the fourth quarter. Like, man, I'm in the fourth quarter. Am I going to win this game? You know, close games are cool to pull out. But man, oh man, you don't want to run your business always. If you run your business always close to the cliff, I will guarantee you there will be a time where you'll fall. You know what I mean? You close enough, you know, you're going to fall. But, you know, that's how things are going. That's the game. I know it's almost halfway through the first quarter. I hope you're putting money away already. You know, I do not suggest buying mowers at this time. I think in April is one of the most poorest times to buy a mower. It's definitely the poorest time to test a mower. You want to test a mower, like right now, next week, would be the best time around here to test a mower, because the first 3 weeks in April are kind of like, these are easy cuts. First of all, your first cut's probably low. And then the next week you can go up a 1/4 inch, and then you get it up eventually to where you're going to keep it for the year. So you're kind of, it's not growing right. Like right now, I just cut my own grass. I just got in for cutting my own grass. It was high and thick. I didn't cut it for 8 days. And I tell you what, the Toro was struggling. I mean, it was just throwing clumps everywhere because it was just so high. I mean, the back lawn literally grew up to like 11 inches. And I'm not talking, when I say 11 inches, it's not, like I see some guys' videos and like, look at this grass. It's 13 inches high. But when you're looking at it, it's just waving in the wind and it's real thin and wispy. You know, down there in Florida, I was watching this guy's video down in Florida and he was test driving a Skag. Look how thick this is, 13. He had a ruler out and everything. But the grass was waving in the wind. It was real thin and wispy, and it came out pretty good. And I'm like, man, he should come up here with that thing and cut my back lawn. You destroy it, because when like it grows this high, and there's no room in between. The wind couldn't even blow because there's no room to blow it. It's so thick. It grows, like literally, it can grow 7 to 8 inches a week. Like I cut my grass, fertilized grass, about 3.5 inches high. Sometimes 3 3/4, depending on the type of grass it is. You cutting bent grass at 3 3/4 is not going to stand up all year. It'll stand up now because there's so much chlorophyll. The bent grass will actually stand straight up erect. But once it starts getting 80 and 90 degrees, that bent grass will just fall right over and it won't even stand up. And you got to have a lot of suction on your deck to even cut it. And that's what I have in my back. And I have like Kentucky blue and bent grass. It's a really weird mix. I don't know how that happened. Usually bent grass means that the lawn's really old. But there's a bunch of Kentucky Blue in it, and it was so thick. I mean, it was just blowing out the side of my deck. But having said all that, I mean, the grass is growing. This is a great time to test drive mowers. Poor time to buy mowers at the beginning of the year. And why do I say that? I like to buy mowers maybe middle of June, July. First of all, because the warranty issue. You usually get a 2-year warranty. If you buy it in June, it can still be covered. It never fails. Like this year, I put my mower away and it was fine. It was serviced. I pulled it out within 2 hours of using it. I blew a seal in the hydro pump. And it was like, I put it away. It was fine. It never fails. You come out of winter and just something happens. And if you don't have a warranty, say you buy it in April, you bust it April 10th. There's your warranty. So if you buy it in June or July, you can extend the warranty for 2 years, and that way when it's coming out of winter, it'll still be covered. Think about those things when you're dealing with that. Also, had a request to do a quick, because everyone knew that I bought a Skag last year, and they wanted, this one guy emailed me and asked me about the Velocity versus the ICD. Now, very similar deck. The deck opening is about the same. The Skag's a little bit larger in the opening, and it's also less baffled. The ICD has a curved front baffle, and it has a real tight on the trim side. It has a little bit of a circle in the back with a little point. And that point, with that curve, creates a little bit more air suction as opposed to the Velocity deck. So, which one did I like better? Now, I'm going to go down it. I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. The Skag is definitely built better. The Skag is built better than the Snapper Pro and probably the Ferris 2100. Not the 3100, but the 2100, I'd say it's built better than. Definitely built better than a Snapper Pro. No doubt about it. It stripes better. The cut quality, the cutting part of it, like the clean cut. I like the way the Skag was a clean cut. But the discharging fact of the Skag, it doesn't throw far enough. And here in the Northeast, it just chunks. Like right now, and the thing I was really disappointed is that it made messes that it can't clean up. And as a matter of fact, like when I was using it, there was so much blowout. It was just my grass. There'd be so much grass on the deck. When I'd blow it off, I'd have to scrape up the sidewalk where I blew it up because it just so much blowout. Now my dealer adjusted it up and down. It didn't matter because what was happening is I get in that thick fertilized stuff and it wouldn't even throw it a pass. It would just chunk it, chunk. And then what I'd do is I'd go around front, cut the front, then I'd come back, raise it up a ½ inch to clean up it just couldn't clean it up. There wasn't enough suction under the deck because I'd cut it, say at 3, then I raised it 3.5, and it just couldn't suck it all up. It couldn't break up the clumps. It would make, it wouldn't really, like if it was wet out, it would throw clumps, but what would happen is it would just throw it one pass, literally one pass if it was high. If it was dry out, what it would do is it leave it like a hay field. And then when you try to clean up the hay, it would just start throwing clumps. So it was useless up here in the Northeast. We have a couple guys that use them up here, and literally they cut in the morning, and their places look terrible. They're clumped like crazy. Like right now that the grass has just popped, like I just got a text message while I'm doing this video. My customer said, wow, my grass really shot up this week. You're going to be surprised how high it is. I'm like, oh, man, because, this is the week where it really starts to shoot up. But overall, I think the Skag is built better. It's cost a lot more, and it stripes better. I would take the ICD deck over the Velocity Plus deck up here in the Northeast. It might do well where you're at, but up here, it's just... Our grass, I don't care what anyone's... Our grass is the worst to cut in the country. Kentucky Blue, Rye, Fescue, and bent grass. That mix, this time of year, you can't mess with it. It's just so tough. It grows like 7-8 inches every week, and it keeps so much moisture in it, and it's so green and dark. Oh, but guys, that's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Answer some questions, and I hope that helped you out between the Skag and the ICD. You know, you got to check your area, though. Your area, Skag might be the bomb. See you guys later.